Hi everyone, this is Epsit Bhardwaj, and now we are gonna take a look into the first session of JavaScript from the scratch. Let's take an overview of what we are gonna learn in today's session. First, why JavaScript? Second, how to set up an integrated development environment. Third, web browser and the infamous F12 key. Fourth, how browser understands JavaScript, or talking in layman terms, how a browser reacts when a JavaScript code is entered into the console of that browser. Last but not least, using a browser console. Hence, we are going to write a first piece of code today in our session. So stay tuned till the last. Coming to our first topic, why JavaScript? Let's check out some stats. You don't basically need to remember any of this, but it's just to know why do we need JavaScript. So these stats say that on GitHub, which is nothing but an online code repository website where we can keep our codes. It's an open source platform. You must sure check out it, as while dealing with JavaScript we will obviously need GitHub. So on GitHub, most pull requests came for JavaScript, which is more than twice in number to what comes at second, that is Python, which is in itself a big thing since Python is a high level language and it comes with a variety of a large amount of libraries and functionalities. And still JavaScript beats it drastically, as you can see there. This is because of the reason that 98% of the websites uses JavaScript on the client side, which basically means that on the user interface side, where the user is interacting with the website, it's the JavaScript that's defining the functionality. JS conforms to the ECMAScript standard, which we are going to understand in the upcoming section what I'm talking about, and much more. Also, you can start building really cool apps using JavaScript sooner than you can even imagine. What does this mean? That JavaScript provides you better functionalities. It tells the web apps to become more functional according to your desires. It's you that is giving its desired behavior. Let's take an instance that one or the other moment you must have come across the similar looking thing. What this is? A cookie accept dialog box. Whenever we open a new website, we all come across something like this, which asks, yeah, accept all cookies or no, I don't accept cookies. Well, this is nothing but JavaScript. Any pop-up dialog box that comes over any website is made from JavaScript. Also, JavaScript is a language that can be used on both server side and client side, which means that it migrates between the front end and the back end, both. Well, both of static web pages add just according to your taste. HTML and CSS, yeah, they can help you make a web page. Yeah, even you can make a simple looking website. But what about the response? The website is not gonna respond to your wants. It's not gonna interact with you in a dynamic way. And that's why JS comes into play. What this all I'm talking about, if you're not understanding, no problems. You're gonna understand it very soon in today's lecture only. So keep going. These three are some of the really amazing JavaScript forums that I have come across in my experience. First is Stack Overflow, and a really amazing place where a variety of professionals reside. On Stack Overflow, you may have answers to every technical question that you have in your mind. I personally recommend it to use it for JavaScript discussions. Second, JavaScript.com. This website has been dedicated to make you learn JS only in an interactive and really fun way. It's really dynamic, so you must visit and sometime and try to write those short pieces of code of JS. It will help you do that on its own. Third, Reddit. Similar to Stack Overflow, it's an online discussion forum website. Using it correctly helps you to build your base, your network, and get more connections to those professionals that will conversate with you and reply to your questions. So always keep in mind, use these whenever you are coding, because you literally will need it. Second, setting up an integrated development environment, what we call as IDE. What is an IDE basically? Generally, an IDE is nothing but just a specialized application where we are able to write, run, test, and debug code. What debugging a code is, we're going to understand in some few minutes. Well, in addition to it, IDE has the feature of syntax highlighting. This basically means that certain elements in your code will appear highlighted with certain colors, each color for each type of element, and hence you may know if something goes wrong in the code. If you're not able to understand from this para, let's take a look at what I'm talking about. This is an IDE that I have opened, Visual Studio Code by Microsoft. This is a sample HTML code. You may see that the syntax have been colored by some predefined colors, right? All the tags, the title tag, the head tag, the body tag, everything is in kind of light blue color. And also you can see that the body, the content is in white. Hence, anything that I add, any text that I enter here is a white color. This is syntax highlighting. How is it important? Let me show you. If I want to enter a paragraph tag and I forgot to enter the these closing tags, then the color won't change. Simply, it autocorrects as well. Another feature of an IDE. A good IDE autocorrects the small mistakes, just like this. The paragraph tag has been entered, and now you may enter your desired text. Again, the text will be in white color, and this is syntax highlighting. How it helps you check out an error is like this. If I remove these inverted commas and also remove this equal to, see, the color has been changed of the same. Now it's no more a functionality of the element, rather it's the part of the tag, and that's why the color has changed. Hence, we can know that it's an error, and then we can correct it, and the color get back to what it was in normal. That's what basically an IDE works as. These are some of the examples of some really amazing integrated development environment or IDEs. The first one you may see is Sublime Text Editor. Second, Webstorm. Third, Atom. Fourth, what we just looked at, Visual Studio Code or VS. And there are many more in the upcoming list. Let's move further. The web browser and the infamous F12 key. It's time to dive into the F12 key thing. I'm gonna use the Microsoft Edge as my platform. So most of the browsers support JavaScript and its latest features, so you don't need to worry about installing a particular website. A particular browser. Still, I recommend that you may use Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox, since they already come up with required plugins and updated features required for the functioning of JavaScript. This lecture series will be based on Microsoft Edge. Well, that's what I was talking here about. This is the dev tools of Microsoft Edge. When I press the F12 key, this dialog box comes, and then we are able to go through the console. All of these browsers contain helpful plugins required for better functioning of JavaScript. We'll be covering in detail about F12 and inspecting the page in the last section of this lecture. What inspecting the page that I have even mentioned here is. Let's keep going and we'll understand in some upcoming few minutes. How browser understands JS? Well, there are generally two types of processes. First, compilation. Second, runtime. Compilation, let's see. Some languages get processed before running and hence come under the category of compilation. For example, C or C++ or Rust. These all work in compilation time and hence require a compiler. But JavaScript, a dear beloved JS, is unlike them. It tends to be an interpreted language else, which means the browser and the computer OS can understand it while running it. Hence, it works in the runtime, and the engine that interprets this language is called interpreter, similar to what we see in Python. Python as well is an interpreted language. Now, delving into the anatomy of a web page, it must be remembered that JavaScript is not the only torturer of the web page, but rather the web pages are written in three basic languages on the front side: hypertext markup language or HTML, cascading style sheets or CSS, and the last but not the least, JS or JavaScript. This is the correlation of JS, HTML, and CSS. HTML defines the structure of a website, while it's CSS that defines how to make a website presentable. But it's JavaScript that defines how to behave, how to interact with the user. And in this correlation, our website works. Talking in some understandable terms, if a web page is a body of a person, then HTML or hypertext markup language is nothing but the skeleton that defines the structure of a website. Cascading style sheets or CSS is nothing but the skin of that body that shows the presentability of it. JavaScript are the vital organs of that body that define how to function, that tells that body how to behave. I hope you have understood the basic concept of a website. Let's move before we move further to our last section of the chapter. We must take a look at the standardized specified for JS language. Currently, the standardization that has been specified for JS is ECMAScript 6 or ES6, which works as the specification used by the browsers to support JavaScript. Well, why do we need this ECMAScript and things? It's nothing but that browsers sometimes require some standardizations or some specifications to support the functioning of some programming language. And hence, JavaScript works on ES6. You may see that this is an example of ECMAScript 5, a previous version of ES6. Basically, you don't have to, as for now, know more than this. We will understand what basically this ECMAScript, TypeScript, these all things are in upcoming lectures. Let's move on to now. Finally, it's the time to say hi to our beloved F12 button. It's not merely a button but also a key to dive into the developers tool section. Last topic of the today's session, using the browser console, where we're going to write our first piece of JS code, which means entering the console of the browser. Well, you may access the same browser console by pressing the right click and then clicking on the inspect option. That's how you can access the console in Mac OS systems as well. Or in our Windows, just press the F12 key and you are there in the tab, in the console tab. This console is used by the developers to basically log on what's happening in that web page and do debugging if any required. Well, it's now time to understand what debugging is. Debugging is a process of finding the problem when an application is not displaying the desired behavior or result. Hence, debugging is nothing but to just find any error, any problem that has came in the application that we are using, or any web app or any website which we are going through. It is not displaying the desired output according to the JS code that we have entered. The console gives us some kind of insight to what's happening there. If you log some sensible message, what I mean by saying that log some sensible message, let's take a look. Just click on the console tab and write this console.log. Let me just do for you right now. Well, let me close and do it again for you. I press the F12 key. See, as you can open Microsoft S Developer Tools. Yeah, the F12 key opens the dev tools, a set of tools for web developers to inspect and debug websites. For sure, I'm gonna open dev tools. Don't be afraid by seeing these dangerous errors and all. This is nothing, just something, you don't need to understand as for now. What we are gonna do is, in this console, we're gonna log some message, and as a convention is saying, what? Hello world. That's what we're gonna do today. We are gonna log hello world into a console. This is the syntax of our logging into console. As I hit press, as I hit enter, you may see the output is hello world. On a side note, this console can also do some basic arithmetic. You see 4 plus 10, 14, 4 minus 10, minus 6, and just on a side note, I wanted to tell you this. Well, coming back to what this logging means. It, as I said, means that it gives insight to what is happening. So if I check up on some error, I can just console.log error has been specified in line 6, and just the message has been logged onto the web page. It's not gonna do something on this my user interface. It's just for the inside thing. Well, coming back to what I was saying, that yeah, you will be dealing with this console log statement a lot throughout the series, because it is required to test your code snippets, to check the results, and yeah, to log on what's happening. There are also other console methods like console.table to create tables, and console.error to specify an error in that DevTools thing, and many more, which I'm gonna surely have a look in an upcoming lecture series. As for now, we have written our first piece of JS code. You may go to Stack Overflow, read about JS more, go to Wikipedia, read about it, and here I sign off with our first lecture. Thank you for being with me, and keep coding.